Hey guys, we're back out in the shop again, and today we're painting the engine. Now, I had video of me actually painting this engine and cleaning it up, and I don't know what happened to it. Not sure where it went. Maybe I forgot to hit the record button, I don't know. I thought I did. But anyway, I got this part. This is basically, I just had some Tremclad aluminum oil-based spray paint on the shelf. So that's the aluminum part you see there. That's all that is. I was going to use silver. I didn't have any silver on the shelf, and I had aluminum, so I thought, well, instead of going and buying another can of paint, I may as well just use the aluminum. I think it looks pretty good. And in the video, that looks like orange paint on the block in the front, but it's actually red. It's a bright red. I think it looks pretty good. And right now I'm just putting some clear on it. This is like the next day after I painted it, and I'm just spraying some oil-based clear on it, and it just adds an extra layer of protection. That's all. Whether or not I really needed it, I don't know, but I just thought it just adds an extra layer of protection, so I decided to spray a good coat of clear over it. I think I put like 2 good coats over the whole thing. But yeah, and basically all I did to clean it up, I have 3 or 4 different little wire brushes that go in the end of my drill. And that's what I used basically to clean it up. First, I did a little mixture. I use a little bit of Verisol, and I add a little bit of gasoline to it, and that works pretty good as a degreaser. I find the gas helps to evaporate quickly, like it dries it up after you put it on. So without that, I find the Verisol kind of soaks into the metal and it just stays there. So your paint sometimes doesn't stick as good, but you add a little bit of gas to it, I find that helps dry up the Verisol pretty quick. Another thing I did on this engine too is I took my torch and I actually went over pretty well the whole thing. I went over it with my torch and I heated up the metal, and what that does is it helps to draw any moisture out of the metal. So I did that just before I painted it, and I think that really helps the paint stick too, because it's taken basically all the moisture out of the metal. You can actually see it drying up the moisture when you put the torch on it. And that doesn't take very long. You don't have to hold it there till it turns red hot or anything. It's just like probably 20 to 30 seconds and it'll be dry. Dries it up pretty quick. So anyway, that's what I did right before I painted it. So I basically cleaned it, degreased it, sorry, with my gas and my Verisol mixture first. Got most of the grease and dirt off everywhere. Then I let that dry. Then I went with my wire wheels there, my little wire brushes that I have for my drill, went over it with them and cleaned it up as best I could. And then I took the torch and just kind of heated everything up, and that's when I started. I put a coat of primer, 2 coats of primer on it first, let that dry pretty good, not totally dry, but pretty good, just so it got kind of tacky. and then I started spraying on the color. And like I said, that was just aluminum Tremclad aluminum color paint I had, and it was oil based, so that's what I sprayed the aluminum with. The red is Rust-Oleum, I believe it's a Rust-Oleum product, 2X, I think it's called 2X Rust-Oleum. Anyway, that was the red that I put on, and then that's just a can of clear that I'm spraying on there now, so over everything. And I still have to paint the valve covers. I had to leave them on there because the way I have the chain hooked up there on the engine lift, I have one of those, I'm not even sure what you call it, but it basically goes up over top of the engine, connects to the engine hoist, and it allows you to tilt the engine like back or forward, whichever way you want. Anyway, when I was lifting the engine out, I'm not sure if it's in the previous video or not, but that actually broke. The nut on the end of it just sheared right off and popped right off, and the engine actually fell. Not the front part of the engine, mind you, just the back part of the engine fell down maybe, I'd say about 5-6 inches. Didn't hurt anything, so everything was okay, and nobody was in the way, thank God. Didn't get my hands crushed or anything, so that was good. But yeah, so because of the way I have that hooked up with the chain now, I can't get the valve covers off to paint them. So I'll have to let it down, set it down on the ground, and then I'll pull the valve covers off and paint them later. I'm just setting up the fan there right now just to kind of blow some air on it. That'll help it dry a little faster. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I like the colors they picked. The other engine I had painted it was like a silver, and then the block I just had it on the shelf, I painted it like a metallic blue. It was like a dark blue, and it looked pretty good too. I liked it. This here is just a little bit more standout, like you'll see it. I think you'll see it more. Not so much the block, but the front of the water pump and the valve covers, they should stand out pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'll take apart the coil packs, and I'm going to paint all the metal brackets black on the coil packs. So I think that'll help the coil pack stand out a little bit against the red valve covers. It should look pretty good. I know the pulleys on the front there look good against the red. They help it stand out. So I think it should look pretty good when it's all said and done. That's a shot of the other side there. You can see it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I think I picked a good color. I was almost going to paint it like a Chevy orange, but I decided to go with the bright red instead, and I think it looks good. I think the Chevy orange would look good too, but you'll see some video and pictures here of a finished product coming up. So this is a video, I just did a quick walk around of it, and this is while it was still on the hoist, so I haven't had the valve covers off yet. But I think it turned out pretty good. And that's the biggest thing you can do when you're painting an engine is clean, clean, clean. If you want your paint to stick, you gotta have it clean as possible. Because if you don't, the paint will not stick. But yeah, there should be some pictures here pretty soon, I think. Yeah, there's the engine with the valve covers done. I just set it down on the floor on my jack stands. Just kept it up off the floor, but just put some jack stands underneath it. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. if you like the color choice or not. I hope you do. I think it looks decent. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like my content. This isn't the only thing I do. I don't just do engine swaps. I work on different types of vehicles in my shop, and I do solar PV installations. So if you're interested in saving money on your electric bill, I do that too. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Everybody stay safe out there, and hopefully we'll see you on the next video.